want to give you an update of what's going on in Iran and always remind you that there are people on the ground. This is a picture of Tehran now. It says smoke and flames from overnight airstrikes, and there's just smoke everywhere. As you know, the U.S. and Israel have hit Iranian fuel depots, and they're on fire. They're burning. That's why you got so much smoke. And as I said before, just never forget there's people on the ground. It says people run as smoke rises after an explosion in Tehran. And I want to show you different scenes. This is one of, I think people are waiting in line at the gas station in Tehran. It says, from Tehran, some lines now at gas stations. Drivers told us they waited around 20 to 30 minutes to get to the pump. They seemed fairly relaxed about the fuel situation, but feared it could get worse in the coming days after the massive airstrikes on fuel storage facilities around the capital. And that's sort of the scenes. And I've heard of this happening both in fuel and in food. People are stocking up and people are worried. So that's another view of Tehran. Iran has chosen a new leader, a new supreme leader, local media says. And that was just a few minutes ago, so we'll get word on who that ends up being. The rumor before was that was going to be Khamenei's son, but as we'll see, I don't have a name, anyone. It didn't say, just says they chose someone. This is then Al Jazeera and kind of what we're talking about. Iran war, what is happening on day 9 of U.S.-Israeli attacks. And there's a picture of it there. There's military attacks, rising casualties. U.S. and Trump, they demand unconditional surrender. And you also have the Strait of Hormuz. It says the Iranian military confirmed that the Strait of Hormuz remains open, but explicitly stated that it would target any U.S. or Israeli ships attempting to pass through. Relationship with neighbors. President Masoud Pezeshkian reiterated that Tehran wants good relations with brotherly neighboring countries, stating that the enemy is trying to create divisions. Iran's new leadership says Ayatollah Mohammad Mahdi Miraberdi, a member of Iran's Assembly of Experts, hinted that a decision on a successor to Ayatollah was near. And I just reported just a few minutes ago, it looks like they might have chosen someone, so I don't see any name yet. And then we're also talking about war crimes committed again against the Iranian people. And then there's an intelligence report, which we talked about before, that said chances are, and this is coming from the U.S. intel, that Trump's plan won't work to change the regime. This is more views waking up in the morning, you can see. It says Tehran at sunrise today, but the sun is hidden behind a sky filled with smoke. After a night of intensive strikes on oil facilities, thick black clouds now hang over the city, turning morning into something that feels like night. And I mean, just the environmental impact, it's awful. I mean, you guys can see it for yourself how much it is, and this definitely has an impact on the local people. This is someone who is on the ground, American. I think he's at CNN. Listen to what he says.
This is what Tehran is waking up to this morning. The sky above the city is covered in very thick black clouds. You can see that everywhere. That's the west of the city over there, and this is the north of the city. Normally, if you look to that direction, you could actually see the Alborz Mountains, but now all of that is also covered in clouds. That comes after major airstrikes in the south and the west of the city happened last night, where oil installations were hit, oil storage facilities. Apparently also a refinery might have been hit as well. And now you can see this morning that the sky is still very dark. We saw thick black plumes of smoke in the sky yesterday. There were massive fires in the south of the city. But I want to show you something else, because it's also raining. But you can see that the rain water is actually black, also saturated, it appears, with oil. And then if we look over there, you can see that the water that's running down here also is black. So that's what's coming down this morning, this sort of oil-filled rain that we have right now on the Iranian capital after those strikes took place.
And this is just a terrible, terrible, terrible situation. Wow. Fox is actually showing this stuff to their audience, though. I'll show you their version of it. Have a listen. And you can see how Fox covers it, so they do show the destruction, but they always leave out that there's people on the ground. They mentioned, the oil falling from the sky, but sometimes you have to see things for yourself. And this whole thing is just absolutely horrific. I don't know what to say, and they'll just show you what it is. This is another angle of it, as you can see. It's just terrible. It's terrible. The whole thing is just terrible all around. There's nothing really you can say about it. And I want to show you this from Al Jazeera. They say, how big is Iran? Iran covers an area of approximately 1.65 million square kilometers, making it the 17th largest country in the world by land, and about 80 times the size of Israel. So it's quite large. And you can see India is about 2 times larger than Iran. Australia is about 5 times larger than Iran. Just to give you a general idea. The U.S. is about 6 times larger than Iran, and that's in terms of land. This is also coming in from Switzerland, breaking just now. Switzerland says U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran is a violation of international law. Swiss Defense Minister Martin Pfister has said the U.S. and Israel have broken international law with their attacks on Iran. Here's a quote here. The Federal Council is in the opinion that the attack on Iran constitutes a violation of international law. In our view, it constitutes a violation on the prohibition of violence, urging all parties involved to stop fighting to protect civilian population. Pfister clarified he was referring to all countries not complying with the prohibition on violence, including the U.S. and Israel. The Americans and Israel have attacked Iran from the air. In doing so, they, like Iran, violated international law. There was a great danger that we are sliding even deeper into a world where there are no longer any rules. We do not want to live in a world where only the law of the strongest applies. And that's a statement just coming now, just a few minutes ago from Switzerland. And this is a view of a professor in Iran. It says, a professor at the University of Tehran has told Al Jazeera that the United States and Israel are, quote, planning to disintegrate Iran, pointing out Trump's statements that suggested that Iran's map may not look the same once the war ends. It shows, the professor said, the U.S. and Israel plan to, quote, balkanize the country. And here's more quote here from the professor. I think Trump is interested in separating the oil-rich sections of Iran, which is located on the northern side of the Persian Gulf. He would probably put someone in charge of the oil-rich sections, and he wouldn't have much use for the rest of Iran. So other parts of Iran could be taken over by neighboring countries, or just left alone if they don't have oil. Trump likes oil. He likes Venezuelan oil. He likes Iranian oil. And you need to have a government that is not functioning without a leader. They, Israel and U.S., would probably want to kill Iran's president as well. So we would have the collapse of the Iranian government and change Iran's map. So that's a view coming from Professor, just what he thinks the future for his people, what the U.S. at least and Israel want for their future. Sorry, it's hard to talk. The whole thing is just absolutely horrific, but I just want to give you different points of view that you may not necessarily hear otherwise. This is from the Financial Times. They're saying Israel expands attacks to Iranian oil storage facilities. Again, they're showing the footage that's just coming out of Tehran from last night. It's just awful. There's no other way to put it. It's just awful. This is also another person's view. It says, what is happening tonight is that the U.S. and Israel are targeting oil depots and desalination plants. These aren't military targets. They're the infrastructure of everyday life of 90 millions. This isn't a liberatory war. It's an attempt to break the backs of Iran and Iranian people. The environmental impact of these strikes on oil depots should not be minimized. Air pollution is Tehran, a city of 10 millions, has reached unbearable levels. This is anything but a targeted attack on Iranian people's infrastructure. This is another view of what Tehran looks like. I can show you some of the footage of this. Again, it's just awful. Details of the U.S. attack on Iran, right? They're going after the oil storage depots. Again, this is from last night. It says the Israeli military said it bombed other infrastructures in Tehran. And this is a local people like in their neighborhoods showing this in the airport. This is another view from at night on the city streets. You can look at this.
بلوار کوسار از این ته همت این منم تا این بالا همینجوری داره میسوزه.
It says after Israeli strikes on a Sharon oil depot in the northwest Tehran, fire spills over to nearby Kushar Boulevard. Quote, shops and people's homes are on fire. And this again, the scenes from Tehran. So just wanted to show you guys what's happening on the ground in Iran, and never forget that there are people there. There are families, there are children, and just regular people just want to live their lives. And that's what's happening right now as the U.S. and Israel attacking Iran. I'll see you all in the next video.